Well, good morning, Selma. It is a great day here in our city. The sun is shining and there's a cool breeze inside of the city. Thank you again for tuning in on this Friday morning with Mornings with the Mayor. And I tell you, for the last almost 3 months, we've been talking to you about the budget. And this is no surprise. I've been ever since the beginning of the summer. We've been updating you on the budget process, sharing with you what's been going on with the budget. As you know, we uploaded the budget online over 6 weeks ago, like a month and a half ago. You've heard from my department heads. They're on the local Charter channel, on channel 181. They're also on the city website. You've heard the needs that they have for their departments, yet to this date the council have not taken this budget seriously. I read in the paper where Councilwoman Maya Jackson, who's always politically posturing because of her desire to run for mayor, I see how she's attacked the mayor's office and the public building department with not understanding the full nature of what transpired. I think you should listen before you speak. If she wants to know why Terry Davis and myself did not show up to Councilwoman Janice Thomas public building committee meeting. First and foremost, Council Janice Thomas came right in front of my office 2 hours prior to it, said that she won't talk to the mayor. She has nothing for the mayor's office. So why go to an area where somebody already telling you they don't have nothing for you, nor would they want to speak with you? So she made it plain and clear that she would not talk to me. If she would read the budget, the question that she's asking in her op-ed, the answers are already inside the budget. The hypocrisy of the things that she's saying and do is just ludicrous, all in the nature of trying to run for an office. This is crazy. But when you look at the council's budget schedule, again, 6 weeks ago, we gave them the budget. Here it is, last hour, at the 12 o'clock, they're trying to push in these budget hearings without even contacting my office. I just learned recently this morning that the Community Development Committee is having a budget hearing. No one has talked to me. They haven't reached out to the press, which it may be a violation of the Open Meetings Act. But yet they sent out an email that I hear from another department that they having a meeting, which they have not talked with me, not understanding what I have on my calendar and my schedule today. I saw another email that came out. I saw this email. No one had to tell me. This one actually came to me by a capital equipment hearing, 8:30 Monday morning. No one talked to me about my schedule. And as a matter of fact, I don't have a capital equipment department. So I'm not sure who they want to come to this meeting that they're having. It is, to me, it's just a last ditch effort to say, well, we're putting these meetings out and the mayor didn't show up. Listen, citizens. It is plain to me the council is not going to pass the budget that I gave to them. They have shown the pattern. This is the fourth budget I've given to them, and yet to this day, they have not passed any one of the budgets that they have given to me. I have given to them. But let me set the record straight. Whatever this council give me, that is what we're going to operate off of. If they give me a budget again, as they gave me last year with $17 million, then we're going to have to continue to maintain, and I would make the tough decisions with my senior leadership team that we need to make sure that we can operate off the budget that they give us. So when you see a lack of services, that's the council saying they don't want services provided inside the city of Selma. When you see employees leaving because we are paying them these minimum wages, then that's the council saying they don't care anything about our employees. At the end of the day, this ain't about stopping Dario Melton. The council cannot stop me as an individual. They are stopping this city, and in their efforts to try to make the mayor look bad, they're actually making this city look bad. The council is the budget. So when you look at the finances of the city, the council controls the finances of the city. Now, when they give me the budget, it's up to me to operate, to execute the budget. And so when they give me a budget that is unbalanced like they did last year, I would make tough decisions that I have to make. That's why I'm in this leadership position. Not because it's easy decisions to make, it's tough decisions to make. And for 3 years, we've heard this council drag their feet, scared to make decisions, and always say it's the mayor, it's the mayor, it's the mayor. But what they're not telling you, when you look at the agenda for this coming up week, what they have on the agenda, the nerve to put financial monitoring on there. Councilwoman Jackson put financial monitoring on this agenda. But she's not telling you behind my back, behind your back, how she's in cahoots with the treasurer and they're transferring money from one account to another account, but she's talking about financial monitoring. Is that what you call financial monitoring? While the people are not looking, let's move money from one account to another account. That is not financial monitoring. But yet at the same time, they want to monitor something. The hypocrisy of this council. And then say, well, the mayor is insane for doing the same thing over and over and over again. Well, if getting our employees livable wages, if that's insane, well, then I'm crazy. If making sure the streets in Selma are repaved, resurfaced, and restriped, if that's insane, well, I'm crazy. If to make sure that all of our departments are fully staffed and fully funded, if that's insane, you can call me crazy. To make sure that our city is growing and thriving and we'll become the 21st century city of this Black Belt region, if you call that crazy, like they said on Lean On Me, you can call me Batman now. Because this is ridiculous. They are so bent on trying to make one individual look bad that they are destroying this city. And the personal attacks that come, a small-minded person always bring personal attacks. But it takes a person who got big ideas to go beyond. A small-minded person always got to be heard. They always got to talk. But the person who got big ideas and who have a well-developed thought pattern, they listen before they speak. And the whole thing, you keep hearing folks talking and talking and talking and talking, what the mayor is not doing. Let me ask you a question. What has this council done for the last 3 years? Nothing on the table, no ideas, no vision, no solution. The only thing you have heard is no to the mayor, no to the mayor. And when you're saying no to the mayor, you're saying no to the city. It's very clear inside the state law. The mayor is in the best position to determine the needs of the city. And when I come to the council and say, these are the needs of the city, and they say no, they're saying they don't care about the city. That's what they're saying. Because they're so hell-bent on trying to destroy the mayor. You can't destroy the individual. You can't destroy an idea. An idea will live forever. And so we keep trying to destroy an idea. And the reality is Selma deserves to be that city that's sitting on top of a hill. That its light cannot be put out. Then you look at the agenda. You got Councilwoman Angela Benjamin worrying about the hack of the system. I'm confused. Why is the council worrying about the day-to-day operation that come to the computer system? I'm going to tell her, and I'm going to tell you all loud and clear, that has been turned over to the FBI. The council has no need to be discussing this on their agenda. If Councilwoman Benjamin wants to know what's going on with the hacking of the system, please feel free to contact the FBI. Let's not broadcast stuff throughout the media. Because what information they have, because we're not giving information to them when it comes to the day-to-day security of our infrastructure. We're not going to do that. Our IT infrastructure, we're not going to give it to them. Because why would the council need access to that? That should raise a question for many of you who's listening here on the radio today. And I just believe that we got to get beyond this stuff. So I'm going to tell you what's going to happen next week. What's going to happen next week? The council going to say the mayor didn't come to our budget hearings. Well, first of all, you didn't contact me for your budget hearings. You just sent out an email to different folks, and I had to find out by way of other people about the email. So you can't expect me to come to a meeting where you don't even call my office or have the decency to ask me, am I going to be available during a certain time? And if so, then we would love to have you at the meeting. First of all, that it deserves respect to at least ask me, am I available during that time? So what you're going to hear is that we had these budget hearings. Well, you had 6 weeks to have them. Why are you trying to crush all of them through within the next 2 or 3 days? Because they're not serious about the budget. The council have already put them a budget together. And again, I tell you, whatever budget they give me, it's the budget I'm going to execute. If it's a budget that's unfunded, I'm going to make sure I balance it again this year. If it's a budget with cuts in it, I may have to cut even deeper. And that's what the council is doing to the city. Now, I will tell you, as of today, there is $1.7 million in our general fund. Not because of something that the treasurer did, not because of the decision that the council made, but it's about a decision that was made by the mayor's office and my senior leadership inside the city hall. We made a decision. We had to lay off employees, and we stopped spending. So there's $1.7 million as of Friday, this Friday, that's in the general fund account. Now, if you all go back prior to my administration in the first 2 years, the treasurer used to holler and scream, we got to stop spending because during this time of the year, the funds are low. Well, wow, it's a miracle now. She's not singing that song of the blues no more. All of a sudden now, matter of fact, the council is spending money like crazy now. I looked at some things they spent yesterday, just giving out discretionary money. Like just giving it out for no reason. Spending money like it's growing on trees. Why? Because of the tough decision that a leader made back in November 2018. Council need to respect leadership. And if you don't respect leadership, you're not fighting me. It is God who put up and put down. It's God who put people in leadership positions. So I got peace about it. Whatever they give me is what I'm going to operate off because they're not going to pass the budget that I've given to them. I know they're not. They don't want employers to get pay raises or livable wages. The same people who sit on that council who's making over $70 an hour, do the math based off what they get paid a month and how many times they meet. They want to pay folks $7.25 an hour. They're getting paid over $70 an hour to meet twice a month. Twice a month, $70 an hour. That is ridiculous. That is crazy. But at the end of the day, we got to do something that's going to make sure that we move this city forward. So I'm joined again, and I'll talk more about this budget. I'm joined again this morning with my Planning and Development Director, Mr. Henry Thompson, who's doing an outstanding, great job in his department. Many other projects could have got done and moving forward, but we need the support of the council. Henry, thank you for joining in. We're going to discuss Henry's budget, the Planning and Development Department budget right now, and so you can be aware of what's happening in the Planning and Development Department, because I just learned that the council is having their meeting today without knowing I can't be there. That's what get me. They haven't talked to me at all to know what I got planned for the day, but they're having the meeting. They didn't let the press know about it. So I'm not going to attend any meeting that violates the Open Meeting Act. I'm not going to be a part of that. But Mr. Thompson, thank you for joining in. If you can share your budget with us.
Good morning, Mayor. And thank you for having me to have this opportunity to kind of go over some of the things within my community development and our planning and development budget. I just want everyone, as well as the council and all the citizens, to understand what we're trying to do to improve the planning and the community environment of the city. We have two areas that we really, are trying to focus in on. And, when you're dealing with planning, you're preparing for the future. You're laying the groundwork. You're basically creating a path that needs to be followed or improved upon under each and every year. Each year we go through different scenarios and do different funding mechanisms and try to do things that will improve the city, that will increase taxes, revenue within the city, or will create a more livable environment. You want people to want to come to your city or to visit and to spend dollars, because that helps thrive your city as a whole. We do a lot of grant funding, which all a grant really is assistance. It's not supposed to run your city off of a grant. You can't run a city off of grant funds. Grants only assist things that you already have planned or you've already prepared and done the work on. And a little portion of my budget, I'm not going to highlight everything, but I'm going to go over a couple of pieces of it. The first thing was my staff. It has been drastically reduced, and even as opposed to last year, but that, like the mayor mentioned earlier, that what we really like to thrive on doing is doing more with less. Basically, whatever is allocated, that's the work that we're going to put in, and we're going to strive to make it happen. So my budget this year, I created a list of 6 employees ultimately overall for my staff, and over more than half of those are all part-time positions. They were created based on their need for part-time employees. Well, there's a lot of moving parts there, and in the overall tourism and the actual utilization of the welcome center and the things that actually thrive this community, we are driven off of tax dollars. We want to put money back into the city. When we have people available to promote our brand and to basically allow people that come to visit us from other places and to say, well, oh, we had a great time in Selma. This is what we want to create. So we created 3 part-time positions under that area, in which it will allow us to do that. It will allow us to take our overall atmosphere to a whole nother element. And that was something that we need to create. You have to develop a element of sustainability is what we're trying to create within this department here. Yes, we're tourism. We're welcoming people into the city every day. People walk across that bridge. They want to find different aspects and things that are going on in this city. And what we're trying to do is we want to promote that and to give people that sense of feeling that when they come to Selma, they want to come back. So a lot of the things that are in my budget came from that, but none of my budget was increased based upon salaries or anything like that. The only reason my budget was increased is based off of infrastructure projects that are necessities. We have tourism buildings here that if we don't do the groundwork and do the planning to make sure that they're operating securely, they're going to crumble. So a major portion of my budget is going towards construction to actually make sure that these buildings are sound and in place, in which it's not necessarily the place where it should be, but this is the path that we have to go. But once we secure these things, then it is planned out for the future to be able to utilize, and then it's something that others won't have to worry about. So that is a major area that I wanted to basically focus in on, because if you look at my special projects account, and I know you all can see it online, it's $93,000. We have a roof on the amphitheater that is connected to a building that we spent over $2 million to create. This is for our community. But if we don't protect it, it's going to crumble, and the new portion of the building is going to be condemned as well.
Well, whoever did that paint job did an awful job.
Yes.
We need to be trying to find, that was prior to this administration, but
That's
whoever
correct.
hired them to do that job, or whoever did that job, ought to be ashamed to say they were professional.
That's correct. That's correct. In this short of a time span, a building that is meant to be that new and basically the face of our city, because it's right there next to the Edmund Pettus Bridge, which everyone walks across. But we are going to have to put back in to correct some of the wrongs that were done prior to, or that were done and not secured under those type of pretenses. So.
But that's what we've been doing since we've been in office. At least 5 of the members that's on the council now help create these problems. They was a part of the problem. You can't expect different results when the same people are in positions doing the same thing the same old way. And I read that one council member say that that's insanity. Well, y'all doing the same thing the same old way. What new has the council put on the table? They have put nothing on the table. That's all I'm saying. Put something on the table. Don't criticize my vision, my ideals, until you'll put your own visions and your ideals on the table. That's all I'm saying. Sorry about that, Miss.
Oh no, you're fine with that. Like I said, we have to develop a way to do more with less, and that's basically what we have. We have to realize what we have here in front of us and where our community is. And you have to be creative. You have to think outside the box. You have to come up with different ideas and different things that will make this community great. You know, I love Selma. I think it could be one of the cream cities in the South. It's basically just you have to develop a plan to put yourself in a position to embrace these things. We have the Craig Field so very close to us. We've got Highway 80 running very close to the city. The potential is here for everything. We've got a river running straight down through the middle of downtown. We have things that other places don't have, but we have to figure out ways to embrace them and utilize them to generate revenue and to create us a sustainable community. And that's basically what our plan is, and that's where we're trying to move towards.
Well, of course, I know the council going to say no to your budget. Anything that tied to me, they're going to say no to it. And shame on anybody because if the public, if you haven't understood yet, the department heads tell me what they need in their budget. They tell me that as the mayor, I compile all their individual departments together and I present it to the council. Now, you want to see where the mayor, where I really weigh in on the budget, is coming with making sure our employees are getting paid adequately. Is making sure that we trying to generate more revenue for service that we provide. Those are the things that I project into the budget. But the council always challenging me on what the department heads need. When you tell the department heads, no, we're not going to give you that, you're saying to them, don't hold me accountable. That's what you're saying to them. And you can't ask someone to be held accountable if you're not going to give them the resources to be held accountable. For instance, when you look at the agenda tonight, for Monday, public parks. Now, they just very generic when they say stuff. But I understand there's members of the council who's trying to work with other people that's trying to charge people for setting up things inside of public parks. That's to the public. You can't charge no people for using a public park. That's why they pay taxpayers money. Then you look on the agenda, and you got on the agenda for Monday. The council you got one I'm talking about. Again, the financial monitoring. That's Councilwoman Jackson. Just like me saying, I'm going to the bank. I'm going to put money in my safe deposit box. And when you walk out, I'm going to go back in there and take it out when you're not looking. They call that financial monitoring. That's what they're doing. Then you got Jamie Thomas, who's talking about open communication. Oh, Lord, I heard it. Open communication. You set up meetings, don't talk to me. Then you say you ain't going to talk to the mayor. Then complain when the mayor don't come to your meeting. When you tell me you don't want to talk to me, you got nothing for me. Why come into a meeting when the folks already tell you they don't want to talk to you? Then the nerves to say public buildings issues. I'm going to tell the public this. The council voted on the contract earlier this year to change the fees for the rental of public buildings. They said you got to have insurance, you got to have a deposit, and the deposit will be forfeited if you don't clean up. Councilwoman Thomas has gone around the council, tried to go to my department head, to the public buildings, and said we're going back to the old contracts. And then threaten my department head, say you're going to be in trouble if you don't allow my friends to use the old contracts. That is unethical. We are surrounded by too much criminality in this city. How are we going to let people who are their friends get the building at different prices when everybody else can pay one price, but you want your friends to operate off the old contract? Show us where the council voted to go back to our old contract. And what old contract is there? Matter of fact, show me where the city attorney drafted another contract and said this is what the council voted on. But how dare you go to my department head and try to get her to execute an old contract based off of your buddies? That is criminal. But yet I'm the one everybody need to be looking at. They don't like me. That's why they try to get me off the radio. They don't like me speaking truth to what is going on inside this city. While your eyes are closed, while you are sleeping, they are draining this city dry. And I'm not going to sit back as mayor and allow them to do that. Yes, they control the finances, but there's some decisions that I can make when it comes to the hire and the fire. But when it comes to them taking money out, that's between the council and the treasurer. And again, I'm asking every outside agency I know of to come in to help us to alleviate these problems inside the city of Selma. It's crazy what is going on, but that's what they have on their agenda. So if you put on the agenda, you talk about it, it's like we're going to point our fingers at somebody else and say, oh, look at this, what the mayor doing. They are blaming me for the stuff that they are doing. The hypocrisy. Jesus said it this way: before you ask your brother to take out the splinter in his eye, won't you take that log out of your eye? That is what is happening inside the city of Selma. So they're gonna look at your budget, they're gonna look at the planning development department budget and say the mayor has something to do with it. We are against it. But they ain't gonna tell the public how they go inside your budget and start spending money out your budget that you're not even aware of. They take money out your budget. Oh, the Henry Thompson got money inside his budget. Can't we use that to paint streets right outside of my house, Councilwoman Jackson? Now I found that insane. The only place where streets are striped there is right where she stayed. I got a problem with that. A huge problem. Forget all the rest of Ward 3. Just right where I stay, strike those streets. But I'm the one who don't know what I'm doing. I'm the one who people should be questioning and looking into. Citizens, if you don't open up your eyes and open them up soon, this council is going to make this city bankrupt. I'm here as a voice to speak loud and clear, to stand on the wall, to forewarn the people of the things that are about to come, and they are coming down the pipeline. As we often say in our office, just hold what you got. Because if you hold on long enough, listen, darkness will soon be brought to the light. It will soon be brought to the light. What they did in darkness, the Lord going to reveal it in the open. Because it is going to happen. It's going to go down inside of this city, whether they like it or not. No, you don't have to like the mayor. But love this city enough to do what's right for the citizens by providing them services. To do what's right for these employers to make sure they're getting livable wages. You don't have to like the mayor, but you have to be able to tolerate, to work with the mayor. None of this is personal. But again, all of those who are available Monday, please come to the council meeting to tune in, watch the personal attacks, watch how it's not about the department heads, it's all about the mayor. The mayor this, the mayor that, the mayor this. Why don't you do it? No, talk to the department heads on what they need. Last year, when they said, oh, the mayor won't let the department heads come and talk to, the mayor won't let the department heads come talk to you. When I come to the meeting with the department head, they don't want to talk to the department head. We want to talk to the mayor so we can try to bash the mayor. Listen, I heard one of them say, you got to have thick skin to be in this. No, you got to be a child to sit there and call names. That's what children do in grade school, call names. Adults talk about ideas. It was Eleanor Roosevelt that told us, small-minded folks talk about people. Average-minded folks talk about parties. But great-minded folks talk about ideas. I don't want to be around folks that are talking about ideas. And that's the conversation we should be having. How are we going to move this city forward? We got challenges before us, but we got great opportunities too. We have to make up our mind how we're going to address those challenges and those opportunities. And so that's where we are as a city. And anything else you want to add, Mr. Thompson? Because
I just want to add this one last thing about, and I know that some people, citizens will see some construction going on downtown on Water Avenue. Our project regarding the interpretive center is underway. It's a multi-million-dollar overall project, but it has begun, and I want people to love and embrace what is about to go on in this city. You know, if anything, the grant matching fund that I have listed here within this budget is vital because it's a matching portion to a lot of infrastructure and grant ideas and things that we would love to see happen in this city and try to move it forward. So I just wanted you all to be aware, if you all are seeing construction going on Water Avenue, it's regarding the interpretive center expansion portion. And it's going to be something that's going to really be great for this city.
Well, we're moving towards the end of the show. You know, I'm grateful for you tuning in. But again, the council was given this budget 6 weeks ago. They're trying to cram through budget hearings without talking to my office just so they can say, well, we had these meetings and the mayor didn't show up. Shame on all those who's trying to do that. Listen, Monday is budget hearing. You need to be in the house at 5 o'clock, be in the house and to watch the posture of the council. It's not about my department heads. It's all about the mayor for them, because this is what my department heads said that they need inside their budget to be successful. So they say no to them. They say no to you and no to the services that you so richly deserve inside this city. Listen, I'm going to stay on the wall. I want you to stay on the wall. And as I say often, if you can't say anything good about Selma, don't say anything at all. And that tide will roll on this Saturday. Have a blessed weekend.